Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are back, finally, and it's been 6 years since their last game developed by Platinum Games. I'm not a huge fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles IP, but love their cartoon animation and mainly their video games from NES to latest action titles, especially Battle Nexus from PlayStation 2 era. Though it is always a pleasure to see Ninja Turtles by an action beat-em-up genre. And as for action beat-em-up genre, Shredder's Revenge is an awesome love letter to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animation series of early 90s and NES titles. Its roots are on the correct place, from its gameplay to visuals, boss fights to sprite animations. It is exactly the meaning of a love letter. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge is a must-play experience for any TMNT fan, beat-em-up genre lovers, and anyone who played NES Ninja Turtles games. And I mean it. You guys need to at least experience Shredder's Revenge and get that sweet nostalgia and urge to order a pizza in your veins. Developed by Tribute Games, Shredder's Revenge is a beat-em-up arcade experience that is sequel to around 30-year-old Ninja Turtles NES games. Our adventure begins with Shredder's goons attacking Channel 6 News, capturing iconic characters of the series and trying to restore the robotic body of Krang. Seeing this event happening on live news, our four Ninja Turtles, April O'Neil and also Master Splinter, heads to Channel 6 News building to stop Shredder and his Foot Army's plans. From Channel 6's building to New York streets, we fight against foot soldiers and trying to get to Shredder before Krang's body is complete. Simple arcane beat-em-up setting that we have always seen by now, and there is no problem with that actually. 7 different characters with 7 different gameplay styles presented to player. Though our last and 7th character Casey is unlocked after the story is completed once. But before explaining this further and talking about the problems Shredder's Revenge has, first let's get to the basics of gameplay and what Shredder's Revenge offers. As a beat 'em up title, your main goal is to beat everyone, get to that stage's boss, clear it and move on to the next level. Simple as that, and what you expect to do, right? In total, Shredder's Revenge offers 16 different stages with 16 different bosses and level designs that have the unique TNMT feeling and also the nostalgic taste that I'm sure you will have if you played the NES titles before, definitely. Both due to the nostalgic taste that I had and the beautifully crafted level design and animations, I didn't feel any boredom or repetitiveness by these levels, and actually quite the contrary. Each stage having from Foot Army to Mousers, Triceratons and Rock Soldiers trying to stop our Teenage Turtles by using different weapons, sometimes using or doing dorky stuff. All of these things from foot soldiers to playing arcade machines or doing a cooking program by Channel 6 building brings a smile to your face and fun to the actual game. Whoever did the art direction and the sprites of this game deserves a praise and deserves a raise. Whoever you are, or let it be a team of members, you guys nailed it, and I hope all the good for you in this cruel business of gaming. All of these sprites and animations are just flawless. Starting from character movements to their attacks, combos and the way they do taunt is flawless. Believe me, it is the correct and perfected way to picture the original titles. From Michelangelo doing his cartoon opening dance taunt to Donatello's playing a Game Boy as a taunt. It is probably the best sprite animations that I've seen recently. All of the stages, bosses and special moves are beautifully crafted that I cannot find any flaw with. It is probably the main selling point and the motivation for players to keep on coming back to Shredder's Revenge and clear its content once again. I really wish Tribute Games continue to resurrect such IPs with this love because they really deserve a praise. Right, back to the topic. Although some of these enemies arrive quite late by the story, they still add flavor to the gameplay and create an extra challenge. Though this extra challenge is not that high, so to say, as I didn't find Shredder's Revenge hard, even on the hard difficulty. These enemies just hit harder, do not bring any move or combo that will surprise you. Especially on Gnarly difficulty, you need to act and play carefully by bosses. Other than that, it's nearly around the same with normal difficulty. In terms of challenge and content, unfortunately I found Shredder's Revenge quite lacking. Especially if I were to compare it with beat-em-up titles like Streets of Rage 4, Shredder's Revenge gets shredded. So there are 2 main gameplay modes, story and arcade, and they each present the same stages, and there is nothing wrong with that. As I completed the story mode on normal and wanted to play on hard difficulty, I don't know the reason, but it wanted to override on my normal difficulty progress rather than creating a separate or a new progress slot. that means that I would lose my progress of collectible items or challenges that I completed on normal difficulty. Although the character progression or levels, so to say, are being carried to the new story progress. I would be so satisfied if there were any goals that I could achieve by playing on hard difficulty or doing the challenges. Maybe some locked costumes or special stages that have some specific enemies, or even just a boss rush mode. I wanted to play Shredder's Revenge more, but couldn't find any motivation to play it on my own on hard difficulty. Either you want to play some more turtle action, or you just want to unlock game's achievements to 100% and be done with it. That is all. No endgame content that would motivate you to master the mechanics of the game or the stages as regular beat 'em up titles do, and I think it is one of the biggest flaws of the game. And if I were to mention, Shredder's Revenge takes only around 2 hours to complete the story. As you pick one from 7 characters, by defeating around 100 to 200 enemies, your character earns one level, so to say, unlocking sometimes a new special move, increasing its own available lives or special move bar. This level up progress is not shown by any experience bar or anything, but motivates players to try out different characters as each level up helps you, especially by hard difficulty. This level up mechanic is not available on arcade, meaning that each character has a standardized levels but with different attributes. For example, Raphael has the highest power, Donatello with highest range, and Mikey with the highest speed. Leo and Casey are mostly all-rounders, and April and Master Splinter are kinda mixed between speed and power. All of these characters actually do feel different, so either you're gonna find the character that suits you most, or just play with the old characters that you love, as the game itself isn't that difficult as I mentioned before. But to be frank, I love what Tribute Games did. I loved especially how faithful they created the sprites and animations that I bought the game rather than playing it on Xbox Game Pass, since I wanted to support them more. Shredder's Revenge's actual price tag is $25 and it's out for every platform and supports crossplay, though its cross-platform feature is between Microsoft users and PC gamers only. Xbox One users can play it with Game Pass users, Epic Games with Steam, PlayStation and Switch on their own. And although there were some news articles on the internet about crossplay between Xbox and Steam, there is not. This cross-platform feature is quite important since Shredder's Revenge supports 6-player gameplay, meaning that you can play with 5 of your friends through all the story, each player playing a different character. To be honest, I don't know if Tribute Games have any plans for Shredder's Revenge for the future, but I would really like to see any future updates, additional contents, or something that would improve the game, especially by content-wise. As I mentioned before, boss rush mode or additional contents that would unlock by the end game will be the thing that the game lacks. But on the other hand, Shredder's Revenge provides a fun experience and especially nostalgia if you're a fan of NES Ninja Turtle games or the original cartoon. And if you find the content lacking or the price high, you can try it out by Xbox Game Pass and see for it yourself. I do hope Shredder's Revenge somehow gets improved, presents more, since I couldn't have enough just by clearing the story and leveling up my characters.